There were 2 sets of printables today. There was your regular set of notes, and then you should also have I also did an EasyPress quick reference chart for you guys. This just kind of, there is, I always just suggest when you're using the EasyPress, always use the online heat guide. That's always the best for you to use. But occasionally you might be without internet, or some of us like to just have like a paper chart, right? So there's this nice little reference guide I got off of Cricut, and it has kind of your just some general base materials. It doesn't have all the materials that are on this heat guide, but it's got almost all of them that you'll probably end up using. And it does list a few of the iron-on types. Like I said, it's not all of them, but I'm guessing it's probably like 70-80% of the ones that you're going to be using. So I did also put this little heat guide in the notes for you guys to print, simply because I like having the printed one. Like I said, occasionally if I don't have access to internet, maybe I forget to bring my tablet or my phone in. It's just nice to have this little printable version. That printable, you're also going to see it has one that says with towel and one that says with EasyPress Mat, because some of the temperature settings I realized are lower if you're using the EasyPress Mat. Okay, like I said, always when you can, the heat guide is always the best. That's online, but like I said, occasionally we need that little printed version. We are going to just go over some EasyPress simple uses. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to do as extensive as a project as I wanted today, but that's okay. So you are going to see the EasyPresses that I own. All right. There are a couple of other EasyPresses out there. And there are larger EasyPresses that are out there. The EasyPress is a heat tool that is used to adhere your iron-on vinyl or your sublimation inks. Okay, like your infusible inks. All right. I do ask that if you decide to buy an EasyPress through the Cricut website, that you please use my affiliate link. I get like 1-2% off of that. It's not a lot, but every little bit helps when it comes to this small business. What I also suggest, though, if you're kind of on the fence about getting an EasyPress, start out just playing around with iron-on vinyl first with just an iron. Okay, if you're enjoying using it, an iron isn't always 100% accurate, but it's great to get started. I used an iron probably for the first year that I played with iron-on vinyl. It worked fine, probably 90% of the time. And like I said, then I ended up winning this EasyPress through Cricut. And then, of course, I fell in love with having an EasyPress. All right. So I'm just going to show you the different ones I have here and possible uses for them. All right. So the smallest one we have is the little mini. Okay. This little guy I use a lot more than I thought I would. First of all, it's great for travel. When I go to crops or retreats over the weekend, this is the one I usually take with me with my Joy. Because I can use it for quite a few things. Not only do I use it for iron-on vinyl, I also use it to iron paper. So like if I am doing a distressing technique and I'm balling up the paper and I want to kind of make sure it's flat, I use this. This is great for most application purposes. You have to realize when it comes to the EasyPresses, you don't want your design to be more than 2 times larger than the surface area of the EasyPress. Now with this one, that's a little bit different. I wouldn't do like a huge t-shirt with this. It would take you forever. But this is great for weird, unusual objects, for like contours. I love this when I do my wood projects. So when I was doing these little wooden tags, this obviously worked really well because you want to move it back and forth over the wood. So the EasyPress worked really well. I don't know how many of you get, my daughter and I order from Ulta a lot, and Ulta always has some type of free gift with a little makeup bag, right? Well, they're never shaped quite flat, okay? They're kind of, you know, they kind of have weird, unusual shapes. So the EasyPress works really well for those. If you're doing a coffee mug, the EasyPress works really well on coffee mugs. And shoes. So like if you're going to put a cute little design on a shoe, the EasyPress works really well for that. Hats, just all kinds of fun little weird things, you know, that it's easier to use this than this. Like I said, I use it a lot for my wood projects also. All right. The EasyPress, if you have an older EasyPress, you need to know if it's an EasyPress 1 or an EasyPress 2. Okay. The EasyPress 2 came out after they came out with infusible ink. The EasyPress 1 only goes up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 Celsius. Okay. So it does not go high enough for infusible ink. Okay. If you have an EasyPress 2, it goes up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. So the EasyPress 2, like I said, it came out after they came out with infusible ink. So it is, it gets high enough in temperature. All right. If you're not sure if you have an EasyPress 1 or an EasyPress 2, you can get on the Cricut website and it will tell you how to tell. I believe, if I remember right, it has to do with the number. There's like a number on the back because I had to look mine up. All right. Okay, so EasyPress 2 is the one that's all of them now, if you buy them, are EasyPress 2. Okay. They do have a heat plate. So you can see, it's kind of like your hot plates we used to have, you know, in, if you had one in college or in an apartment. Don't use it as a hot plate. It has a temperature control button at the top, which I'll show you how to use in a minute. All of them come with the little base. Make sure you're always putting them back in the base and make sure the cord is not underneath when you go to put it down in the base. Okay, that happens to me. Sometimes I go to put it down and I don't realize the cord tucked underneath. You need to make sure that you have a 120 volt outlet when you are using these. All right. So if you live outside of North America, you might not be able to use these. Now, my son tried to explain it to me because, you know, he tries to explain things to his mom. These, they use like a 300 volt, I think he was telling me, amount of energy. So if you don't have the proper outlet, you're going to end up causing a short in your house, which isn't nice. Okay. Like I said, this goes up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. They come in sizes 12 by 10 and 9 by 9. So this is the 9 by 9. And then 12 by 10 is a really big one. All right, I do not have that one because I just don't have a use for it right now. EasyPress ones, which they don't sell anymore, but sometimes you can find them on Marketplace. They come in 12 by 10, 9 by 9, and 6 by 6. So if you're looking at this going, hey, I've never seen this size, they don't make 6 by 6 anymore. Okay, I wish they did. I use this one a ton. All right. Now, there's also a new thing out that's called the Cricut Mug Press. I do not have that. I have my own opinion of it right now, which I will not speak of, but there is a mug press that is out. It is designed for coffee mugs. It only uses a certain size of coffee mug blank. And it's designed for infusible ink. So we're not going to discuss it. I don't have it. I'm not going to use it because we're not doing infusible ink. Okay. If you want to know more about the mug press, let me know. Like I said, I don't have one. Not planning on getting one anytime soon because I just kind of have my own opinions about it right now. Okay. All right. We are going to take a look at the mini first, just how to use it and some little tips and tricks. So I'm going to move some things around here and I'm going to plug this in. Now, the other reason I do like the mini, if you take a look at the two outlets here, sometimes I do travel and they do not have this 120 volt that I need. They always have a outlet that I can use my mini press on. So that is the other reason I travel with the mini press. All right, so I told you last week that I always put my all-purpose mat down on my work surface just to protect that because that's heat proof. You can choose to use an EasyPress mat if you want, or you can just put down a towel. Always try to, the best that you can, use a flat surface, okay? I usually try to do one that's about waist high. It's just like when you're using an ironing board, just because, you know, it works better to... It gives you more pressure if you have to apply pressure. Gives you a little bit more balance when things are about waist high. Okay. Now, like I said, this is great for shapely objects. If you are making like one of those makeup bags like I was showing you, I suggest that you roll up some towels and put them inside, or get a piece of cardboard and put it inside. I have a video where I made this. What I ended up doing is I put a piece of cardboard in here just to protect the back side. And then I pushed this really flat and I used a binder clip to kind of keep it nice and flat, because you want it as flat as possible when you are using the EasyPress. Okay, and that's why for these, this mini worked so much better because I could get it where I needed it to go. All right. Now, if you're doing a shoe, I would suggest you get some towels in there to give you a nice firm surface. So I usually tuck some towels in if I'm doing a shoe. And then that just gives me a nice firm surface to be able to use that EasyPress on. Same with hats. Okay. There are hat forms that are out there if you do a lot of hats. If you are doing an album, as you can see, it's at an angle, right? I always tell people stick a book under here so that it's flat. Okay, don't use, you know, a fancy book. But I usually put a book under there just so I have a nice flat surface, okay? And I like using my EasyPress for my albums too. All right, to turn on the EasyPress, there are 3 temperature settings, low, medium, and high. So when you look up on the heat guide, it will tell you to turn it on low or medium or high. All right, 1 press is low, 2 presses is medium, 3 presses is high. While it's orange, it's heating up. Okay, and it's heating up fast. I had to move my finger because it's heating up really quickly. Okay, once it's green, the temperature has been reached. Okay. And like I said, always stick it back in its little cradle. I usually turn it on, I let it sit, and then I, you know, finish weeding my project or whatever. And then by the time I'm done weeding and I have it prepped, usually the little thing beeps. Okay. Now these do have an auto shut off feature, which is really, really nice for people like me who forget everything. I don't know, maybe it's just me. How many of you forget things to turn things off, you know? All of your EasyPresses, once they've been on for a certain amount of time, they're kind of like an iron. If you aren't picking them up, if you're not using them, if they've been on too long, it will start to beep at you and it will tell you that it's going to shut down. Okay, so it does have an auto shut off, which is really nice. Okay. See, now it just beeped and it's green. So now it is ready to use. Okay. All right. You always want to preheat your base material. All right. I showed you that last week. So before you apply your iron-on design, it will tell you how long to preheat it. All right. Sometimes it's only about 5 seconds. You always put that shiny side down. I showed you that last week. And you always make sure that you use the carrier sheets to cover up any excess vinyl, or the Cricut mat. I came across 3 mats that other Cricut users recommended if you could not find this mat. So I'll make sure I post those links. They're actually designed for other heat presses. So they are meant to withstand the heat press temperature, and they also don't stick to vinyl. So I'll post those links because I couldn't find any information about the sheet that you recommended. And so since I don't have that, I don't like recommending stuff I don't know, if that makes sense. But I did research it for some other Cricut people that I follow, and I found some other mats that people recommended. Okay. So the one thing the mini press does not have is a timer. Okay. It's going to tell you for so many seconds that you need to heat it, you know, whether it's 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever. You need to have some sort of timer either on your phone or nearby. The bigger presses have a timer. I'll show those to you in a minute. The mini press does not. So either get yourself a little egg timer, set a timer on your phone, whatever. Okay. Let's see. When you are using the EasyPress Mini, you do move continuously. All right, on your project. Okay, that is one thing about the Mini that most people don't. They think that you just need to press it and press it and press it like we do these bigger ones. You actually are moving it continuously. Now, just be super careful that you don't shift any of your vinyl. All right, that will cause it to kind of warp and let me show you what happens. So these little bunnies, this one, it didn't shift. This one, you can tell the iron-on shifted. I didn't tape down my vinyl, and so when I was moving the EasyPress on it, it kind of shifted a little bit, and it caused those lines to become wavy. I like to use the Cricut heat tape for when I need to tape down vinyl because it is heat resistant. And that just, it honestly really helps, especially since you're moving this around. It keeps your vinyl from shifting on the project. Now, remember last week I told you, you saw where I didn't quite get the edge on that one set of words. That is one thing, especially with the EasyPress. You really need to make sure that you're getting the whole surface of the EasyPress all over the design. This little point is hot, but it doesn't cover as much surface and you often miss it. So I always try to make sure I cover everything with the larger surface of the EasyPress. Okay? Now, just like with the big press, you always flip it over and you heat the back side too. Okay? And then you just need to refer to the heat guide, whether it's a warm peel or a cold peel. Okay? Oh, always make sure your project is dry. Okay? You always need to pre-wash anything that's fabric. But sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me, I get in a hurry and I needed a birthday gift yesterday. And so I throw it in the dryer real quick and I think, oh, I'll just throw the EasyPress on it and dry it. That does not work. Don't do that. Make sure that the project is completely dry before you try to put anything down. Okay? All right. We are going to use the next EasyPress. So I'm just going to shut this off. I'm just going to push the button and wait until none of the lights are on, and that'll be off. I'm going to set this aside so I don't burn myself on it. All right, I'm going to be using a Cricut iron-on design. These you can purchase on the Cricut website. They're really nice for last-minute projects. For the, oh, whoops, I forgot to do something. Because, you know, that happens to the best of us. All right, so we are going to use an EasyPress. Normally I would pull up my little heat guide, but the nice thing about these iron-on designs, they have the information right here on the back. So it's saying that I need to set my EasyPress to 340. I need to preheat the material, place the design down, heat each part of the design for 50 seconds with medium pressure, flip the base material over, and then heat the back side for 15 seconds, and then let it cool for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so this is going to be a cool peel. And I'm going to explain warm versus cool peel again here in a minute. So your EasyPress, again, you want to make sure you have a nice flat surface when you're using it. Always make sure you have something protecting underneath your project, whether that's an EasyPress mat, whether that's a towel, doesn't matter. Just make sure you have something so that you don't, you know, end up with a big old nasty design on your good grandma's table. Okay? All right. So there's a little on switch. We're going to go ahead and press the on button, and you can see it has temperature in Fahrenheit and it has temperature or time in seconds. If I want to switch this to Celsius, I just need to hold down the temperature button, and you can see it's going to change to Celsius. If I want to switch it back to Fahrenheit, I just need to hold it down and it'll swap it back to Fahrenheit. Okay? To set the temperature, I just need to press the temperature button once. You'll see that it starts to flash, and then we just go up on, we just hit the plus or the minus sign to go up. All right, we also can set the seconds here. So the preheat is for 15 seconds and then the design is for 50 seconds. So I'm going to hit my preheat first. So I just need to press the timer button, and I'm going to press the little minus key to 15. And then it's just going to heat up. Just like the mini press, while it's orange, it's heating up. Okay? Keep it down on the little cradle. You don't want to set this down anywhere other than your project or the cradle. You will have a mess. Okay? All right. So we are going to preheat to the recommended settings. So, and that's for 15 seconds. So I'm just going to put this down. And then I'm going to push the little Cricut key, just like we do on our Cricut machine. You just press the little Cricut icon. You can see it's counting down. And now it's been preheated. I'm going to place my iron on down onto the project. And then I'm going to change the time again. So I'm going to press the timer. I'm going to hit my plus key. And you can see while I'm holding it, it's going by 5s. If I just want to go one at a time, then I just need to tap it. Okay. And it's going to be needed. It says the instructions say heat the design for 50 seconds with medium pressure. So you have a light pressure, you have a medium pressure, and you have a firm pressure. Light pressure just basically means pick it up, set it on there, leave it till the timer beeps. Okay. Medium pressure means I'm just going to apply just a tiny bit of push while it's sitting there heating on the project. Firm pressure means that I kind of need to put a little weight into it, okay? You kind of need to put a little oomph, okay? All right, so this is medium pressure. I'm going to pick this up. I want to make sure that as much of the plate as possible is covering the design. And then I'm going to press the Cricut key. And I'm just barely, I'm applying pressure, but I'm not like hefting my weight over it. It's not a firm pressure. It's just a medium pressure. Like I said, if it said light pressure, I would literally just leave it like this and walk away. But it does need a little bit of pressure. All right, so I have it heated on this side. I'm going to flip it over. And for the same amount of seconds, I'm going to heat it again. Oh, this one says heat it on the back side for 15. All right, so I'm going to have to do 50 minus 15. So 35. All right. So this one we have to let cool. So this is called a cool peel. There are two kinds of peels that you're going to read about when it tells you how to remove the carrier sheet. You have either a warm peel or a cool peel. Warm peel means that it is lukewarm. So like right now, this is way too hot to the touch. Okay, I want it kind of a lukewarm coolness, I guess you could call it. And that is your warm peel, okay? If you peel it right away now, the adhesive in this iron-on has not had a chance to set. So some of it may end up coming up. It may stretch and wrinkle and warp, okay? A cool peel means you let it sit here for about 1 or 2 minutes until there's absolutely no heat. Okay, and this one is a cool peel because it says I need to let it cool. So I'm just going to let it sit. All right, so this is still this is now to the point of lukewarm. So right now it would be considered a warm peel. I need it to cool just a little bit more to be able to do that cool peel. Okay, again, when you are using the EasyPress 2, make sure that your fabric or base materials are completely dry. Make sure that they are heat resistant. That's the other thing I forgot to say. I had someone, it sounds silly, but she was doing a coffee mug. The coffee mug was a decorative mug. It was not designed to hold hot liquids. Now, why someone would sell a coffee mug looking product that could not hold coffee, I don't know. But anyway, she did not read what it said along the bottom where it said, do not put hot liquids inside. And she tried to use the press on it and it cracked. So make sure your product or project is heat resistant also. All right, so that is cold. This would peel right up. And of course it is my right arm that I damaged, so it just make life, you know, must be difficult. Okay. All right, so now that is heated and secured onto the fabric, okay? They have bonded together. All right. Now, do not wash any of your iron-on projects for at least, I tell people 48 hours, just because you want to make sure that you have a nice secure bond. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. All right, so we have gone over HTV, just what is HTV, and we've gone on over EasyPress basics. Now, through the rest of May and into June, we're going to be making projects with iron-on. Thank you for sticking with me. Sorry the class was a little bit shorter than planned, but I hope that you learned how to use your EasyPress, some tips and tricks for using it with your projects. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below.